Yes, please do come. Take your seat, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Take your seat. You're Mr. Anirudh.
Yes, sir.
Anirudh, you're comfortable in English?
Yes, sir. I'm more comfortable in English.
You're more comfortable in English. Anirudh, you must have noticed that we have taken adequate care when it comes to COVID.
Yes.
And that's why your chair is at a very, it's distant, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be feeling comfortable.
Yes.
And safe.
Yes.
Right? So, if you feel like removing your mask, you can, because
yes, sir.
You're at adequate distance,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Can we start?
Yes.
Okay, Anirudh, before we start, I request you to introduce yourself in a manner that your identity, your name, your caste, your community, these things are not indicated, and still we come to know something about you.
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, I am 23 years of age. I have done my BTech from MNIT Allahabad in civil engineering, and this is my second attempt at UPPCS.
What is your optional paper? I'm sure
Sir,
it must be civil engineering.
Science, sir. No, sir, it is political science.
What MNIT used to be a good institute. What happened to it that its own graduates fails to take even the basic as state civil services optional paper in their parent discipline? Why?
Sir, I felt that I have a...
It's not about you. I'm questioning the integrity of your teachers. They could not give you enough confidence.
No, sir, I had the confidence, but I even had good marks in my graduation.
That is even more worrisome. If even good students run from their parent discipline, it's really bad.
No, sir, it was more because I had more interest in political science and especially international.
Any Tom, Dick, anybody can do political science. A simple BA student, you don't need MNIT BTech for that.
Yes, sir, but I think I went with my gut feeling that I should go with my interest. What interests me more should be my optional. I thought I will be able to perform much better in that.
Okay, I'm ending this line of questioning considering that you are a bad engineer, right? Now getting to the, where you studied from in your schools?
Sir, my father is in defense, sir. He has been he is now retired, but he was in defense. So my schooling has been from multiple places, and my 10th and 12th basically were from Pune.
Okay, since you were in Maharashtra, we are in the COVID times.
Yes.
Tell me, if you look at the COVID data, you know the Maharashtrian public in general is by and large more aware, is more educated, and their civic sense is a little better than the civic sense of UP. Both are big states. And if you look at the COVID data, we find that the Maharashtra number of cases been consistently high. And UP it is shown that the cases are low. Despite the fact, if we go into the market and all, we clearly see that not many people are following COVID protocols.
Yes.
Do you believe that UP's data in terms of COVID is reliable, trustworthy?
Yes.
Because otherwise Maharashtra cannot have more cases than UP.
Yes, sir. I believe that the data is very much reliable, and I also believe, sir, that the lower case rate in UP is more because of the various steps that the government has taken. And I also believe that there is a factor of luck involved in this. And well,
it can either be luck,
yes,
or it can either other way it can be that obviously data, the control over data is with the government, which want to show that less cases is better.
Yes, sir, but I think that even WHO has praised the model that the UP government has followed, and it has commended that the work done by UP government in handling COVID-19 has been much better than other, especially larger states such as Karnataka or Maharashtra. That is one of the major reasons why we have lower case rates in UP.
Since you studied political science, If you look at the recent happenings about parliaments world over, especially in states like countries like India and other places, we have seen that the parliament as instrument of democracy is losing its relevance at many places. Decisions, it appears, are not taken in parliaments. It appears that the parliaments have become merely a legitimizing tool of executive rather than being a vibrant tool of democracy. What is your take on that?
Sir, I believe that the parliament is still relevant, even though its relevance is slightly declining, but that can be majorly attributed to the large majority of 303 seats enjoyed by a single party. So that is one of the reasons why the bills can be easily passed through
but
parliament.
If we look at the Bihar Vidhan Sabha recently, it appears that now the parties will have their own forces in parliament. They would start having their own armies in houses.
Yes, sir. I believe that, sir, it is possible that the parliament will function properly, and it is largely happening. Most of the bills are passed after due discussion, even if they are not referred to the parliamentary committees. And I believe that if we return to the coalition system of government, the checks and balances will improve further.
Anyways, thank you.
So, how are you, Anirudh? All good? Perfect. Great. And as we can see, and you have told us that you are from civil engineering background, right? So, can you tell us how to go ahead with the bending moment diagram for a bridge which is having 3 hinges?
Yes, sir. I know that the bending moment diagram at the hinges means it will be at the axis, means it will be 0 at the hinges. The bending moment will be 0 at the hinges, and depending upon the support conditions, if the support is fixed, there would be certain bending moment over there. If the support is hinged, or there will be no bending moment at the ends.
Have you heard about something called quad?
Yes, sir. I am aware about the grouping.
Very good. So recently, India has concluded a 2+2 dialogue mechanism under the Quad with USA. What were the major outcomes?
So the major outcome was bilateral exchange and cooperation agreement was signed between India and USA, and through that agreement, India will have access to geospatial data. Actually, it will be an exchange of geospatial data between India and the USA.
And political science you have taken as an optional, an IR, right? So, would it be possible for you to differentiate between the Plato's Republic concept vis-a-vis the John Locke's theory and the Kautilya's Arthashastra?
Sir,
how they are different actually?
Yes, sir. Plato's Republic is actually a totalitarian state, sir, where the philosopher king, who even though he is a philosopher, has absolute powers. On the other hand, sir, John Locke has prescribed a night watchman state, whereby the powers of the states are limited by the natural rights of the citizens. These natural rights are life, liberty, health, and property. On the other hand, sir, Arthashastra is from ancient Indian political thought, and the state as per Arthashastra must be run as per the caste hierarchy, means the king must be from the Kshatriya Varg. This kind of hierarchy is not found either in the Plato's Republic or in John Locke's state.
Very good. So, do you know the concept of nation state? Have you heard about it? What is a nation? What is a state?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yes.
Achha, theek hai. So, if we ask about India, what status you will accord? India is a state, India is a nation, or India is a nation state, or a nation in making?
Yes, sir. There have been differing views on this subject. For example, Sir Yogendra Yadav has said that India is not a nation state but a state nation. This is because of the multiple identities the people of India identify themselves with. For example, a Bengali or a Punjabi has been a Bengali or Punjabi for centuries, but he has been an Indian only for 75 years. That is why India is an evolving nation.
Or a nation in making,
Yes.
you can say. Perfect, perfect. Just the last bit. You have mentioned that you have a hobby of traveling.
Yes, sir.
So you have told us about that you like traveling.
Yes, sir.
So what was the last place you visited recently?
So the last place I visited was just before the pandemic started in the December of 2019, and that was Andaman Islands.
Okay, so what are the latitudes and longitudes for the same?
Sir, the longitude is north of 10 degrees, and the latitude must be around 80 degrees. Sir, I'm not exactly
That's
sure,
fine,
but
that's fine. You
it
can
is
make a
around
guess,
80
yeah.
degrees.
Very good. Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much. So,
Anirudh, you have one interest as European football analysis. What do you mean by European football analysis?
Sir, it is basically means I like to follow and analyze the tactics behind in the football leagues of Europe, such as the Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Serie A, or the La Liga in Spain.
Okay. Well, you have analysis. What are your findings regarding Barcelona?
Sir, for example, Barcelona currently is going through a transition phase. The earlier veterans who were behind most of its success, such as Xavi, Iniesta, even Sergio Busquets, Gerrard Piqué, Carlos Puyol, all of these have retired, and it is currently a young team with a new coach, Ronald Koeman, who just took over last year, and even its most legendary player, Lionel Messi, it is widely speculated that he will also be leaving Barcelona at the end of this year. So it is a club currently in transition from one generation to another. That is why this year its performance has also been below par as per its recent standards.
I think you have great interest in football, huh? Because this is real analysis. Okay. Recently, we are hearing a lot of debates on governor post. For the post of the governor, the role of the governor in the Indian political system. Okay. Recently in Kerala, we heard about the decision of the governor. Okay, I'm not calling the session of the parliament, special session of the parliament. What are the discretionary powers the governor has?
So the discretionary powers of the governor include to appoint the chief minister whenever there is no clear majority. But sir, the discretionary power must be exercised in various cases as per the guidelines of the Supreme Court. For example, in case of deciding the chief minister or no confidence motion, the guidelines in SR Bommai case must be followed. And in other cases, even though the Article 162 does not clearly specify that aid and advice of the Council of Ministers must always be followed, but the Supreme Court has held that the powers of the governor are not per se discretionary, but the advice of Council of Ministers shall always be followed.
Okay. It is Article 163. Okay. Is there he has any discretionary power to not call the session after the advice of the Council of the Minister?
Sir, I am not exactly aware about it, but as far as I know, sir, the provision is no exact provision is there in the Constitution. So as far as I am aware, this is in a legal gray area whereby the laws are not exactly clear.
Okay. One last question. What do you understand by ease of doing business?
Sir, ease of doing business has many components. It includes, like for example, registering a property, or getting electricity connection, paying taxes, enforcing contracts, and various other aspects such as logistics are also included in the ease of doing business.
Okay. And what is India's position in ease of doing business?
Sir, India's position
on all parameters, how can you analyze India's position in ease of doing business?
Sir, India's position, although has witnessed a exponential rise from 143 in 2014 to 63 or 65, sir, I'm not aware right now, but in certain areas we are still below 100, and these areas include paying taxes and enforcing contracts and registering properties.
So India is doing
yes,
very
sir.
good.
Overall, the performance has been very good, but there is still scope for improvement, and that is why the target has been set to be below 50 in the ranking.
So how it could be, it could help in the development of India if we are doing good in ease of doing business. How it can help to develop India as a developing country, or promoting jobs in India?
Yes, sir. I believe that with ease of doing business, there would be greater investments, not only FDI, which will come from abroad, but also ease of doing business will encourage private investment from within India also. This investment will lead to what economic survey has called the virtuous cycle, whereby investment creates more jobs create more demand, and more demand leads to further greater investment. So that virtual cycle can be kicked on by the ease of doing business.
So it will help for Atmanirbhar Bharat as well.
Yes, sir. It will help in Atmanirbhar Bharat, as with that investment, much of what is currently being imported can be produced domestically.
Okay, good. Thank you, sir.
Okay, अनिरुद्ध, मैं आपको बहुत गंभीरता से सुन रहा था, और सुनते हुए मुझे लगा कि ये जो आपने यूरोपियन फुटबॉल का एनालिसिस दिया है, टू मी दैट मेक्स यू वेरी एलिटिस्ट, इजंट इट? वेरी एलिटिस्ट. ऐसा नहीं लगता कि आप जब अगर उत्तर प्रदेश की ब्यूरोक्रेसी में आपको ले ही आया गया तो आप चल नहीं पाएंगे? आप गुल्ली डंडा वाली जगह पर अगर यूरोपियन फुटबॉल के एंथुसियास्ट होंगे तो आप भी फ्रस्ट्रेट होंगे, और आपको देख देख के बाकी लोग भी फ्रस्ट्रेट होंगे. टेल मी दैट आई एम रॉन्ग.
Yes, sir. I believe that I am pretty much attached to the ground, even though I am aware about what is going on in other countries, especially in case of football. But I am very much attached to the ground, sir. I have also played gulli danda for that fact, and I am a good player. And I believe that coming from a lower middle class family, as my father was.
इंडियन women फुटबॉल टीम के 4 प्लेयर्स के नाम बताइए.
Yes, sir. Indian women, sir. The captain is Asha Lata Devi, and the captain of Indian women football team. And sir, I am not aware of other.
Just look at the way you analyze Barcelona, and now compare it that you don't know about the women national football team.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, आपकी अंगूठियाँ देख के मुझे लग रहा है कि काफ़ी भक्त व्यक्ति हैं. मान लीजिए ईश्वर तुरंत आपके सामने आते हैं और आपको ये वरदान देते हैं कि आपके चाहते ही या तो पेट्रियार्की या फिर कास्टिज्म इस देश से तुरंत गायब हो सकता है. आप किसके गायब होने का वरदान मांगेंगे?
सर मैं पेट्रियार्ची को पहले ख़त्म करना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि इसका कारण यह है सर कि पेट्रियार्ची से 50% पॉपुलेशन प्रभावित है, और सर जो कास्ट सिस्टम है वो पर से बुरा नहीं है, उसका जो सर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है, कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन.
आपने बहुत खतरनाक वाक्य बोला है. कास्ट सिस्टम पर से बुरा नहीं है. For thousands of your people have died because of this system in miserable condition.
Yes, sir. That is because of caste discrimination. Sir, caste system, even Gandhi ji has said that caste, the varnashram system whereby the people are divided into.
There are people who believe कि अगर पेट्रियार्की समाप्त कर देंगे तो कास्टिज्म अपने आप समाप्त हो जाएगा. क्या रिलेशनशिप है दोनों के बीच?
Sir, the relationship I'm not aware of.
You're not aware. Fine, Anirudh. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
take your seat. Betty Anirudh, tell me, how was it? What are the areas you believe that you were okay and where you believe that you can do a little better?
Sir, I believe that I did fine, but the areas where I could have improved were firstly the constitution, the discretionary powers of the governor. I could not remember exactly. And secondly, sir, I felt I got a little bit under pressure and could not reply to some of the questions.
See, Anirudh, you definitely, you're a good candidate. Your background is good. You have studied from nice places. You have, see, the biggest plus about your personality is that you have diversity in your personality.
Yeah.
So you appear to be a dynamic person. You are in position to have deliberation on variety of subjects and almost with ease in many areas, which is definitely your strength. Coming to specifics about this interview, your certain areas you need to improve, they will be coming to that. Otherwise, your knowledge base is good, your analysis is good, your vocabulary is not bad. Flow, initially there was a little, you were like tentative in the beginning, but after 2, 3, 4 minutes, you were in flow. So even flow is good. Though I still believe that a little more energetic presentation, delivery, verbal delivery will help. Areas where I want you to improve primarily, one is entry and second is exit. Entry, exit can definitely be better. You need to understand that why these things are important. Entry is important because first impression is obviously the lesson, and exit is important because right after the exit, evaluation will take place. So board members may forget what they asked, but they'll remember how you left the room. So make a template in your mind, right? And revise it many times. You'll enter and loudly you'll ask for permission to enter, right? Then you'll greet the board members in a definite, in a particular order in which the chair or the women member will be the first one. Then you'll greet the other members, and then you will wait for being asked to sit down, right? And then you'll sit down and say thank you. So this is a template you have to revise in your mind. Similarly, when the board members ask you to go, you'll say thank you to the chair, you'll say thank you to the other members, wish them good day, and then you will leave, right? So repeat this template in your mind many times. If you need to do it in your room, rehearse it well, right? So these things you can work on. Coming to specifics of content, usually it was good, analysis was good. I'll advise you to revisit that caste thing, right? Why unnecessarily अपने पाँव पे खुद कुल्हाड़ी क्यों मारनी है? You can simply say that both are problematic, but I will choose patriarchy because patriarchy affect more people, and I believe once the patriarchy goes, see, the patriarchy has a very close relationship with caste because patriarchy ensure that purity thing. If there is no patriarchy, any women will marry any men, and hence the caste cannot perpetuate. After one generation, there will not be any caste if women are free to choose their partners, which is not there, right? There are other ways also. You can read them, but saying that casteism is good, communalism is good, is not something that you should be doing, right? Other things, I'm really happy. You're doing very good. Your personality is definitely the one board members will be looking to, right? All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Yes.